Do you have the feeling of being ambitious for professional projects or life goals but feel that laziness goes hand in hand with procrastination? Do you feel uncomfortable about not being able to progress towards your goals as time passes, increasing your anxiety and diminishing your life purpose? I would say that studies show that the most ambitious people are the ones who feel the most lazy, and this is not the result of a lack of character. It's behavioral psychology and neuroscience. Yes, I'm talking about her. From the famous cheap dopamine, the great villain of modern times, closely associated with technology and immediacy. This video will provide simple discipline actions for your brain that will help you weaken the search for immediate pleasure. Consequently, reactivate activities that lead you to pursue your ambitions. To begin with, remember that ambition is a positive feeling and cannot be confused with greed. The ambitious person takes pleasure in seeking and achieving something. The greedy person is not interested in the means. He is capable of doing anything to achieve what he wants. Compromising character and relationships with people. So the first step is, don't feel guilty about having ambitions. Being ambitious gives your life meaning. What you need to control is your brain's mesolimbic dopamine circuit. It is what makes you seek pleasure and comfort as an immediate reward. Directing your actions throughout the day. Your prefrontal cortex of the brain, the part responsible for planning and controlling emotions, ends up being weakened. A very effective first action is when you have an idea for a project in mind, don't tell other people about it. I'm not talking about generating envy or other common sense beliefs. It's because telling someone gives a small pleasure. It activates the mesolimbic circuit because we seek and are driven by social approval. There will be a little social approval from the person you share a goal for. When the other person says, "Cool, you can do it," you've already done it. This feedback from another person provides a momentary dopamine spike and reduces dopamine when it is time to act towards your goal. Because the social reward for what you would do, you have already achieved. So stop telling your plans. Even though you feel like it, practice self-control. It will help you focus on the necessary actions in pursuit of your goals. Another reason you should avoid sharing your goals is that the person's reaction may not have the same excitement and enthusiasm that you have. Or you may not even pay as much attention as you would like. This can lead to prematurely giving up on something you thought of because, unconsciously, you are influenced by the other person's personality and not your own. Only you should be obsessed with your goals. This characteristic is present in ambitious people. So, avoid everything that could undermine the determination that already exists within you. It is important to know that all actions are gradual. In other words, you will not stop procrastinating overnight. The brain naturally seeks comfort. This is physiological. However, actions that you take consciously help you self-manage this comfort. There is a region in your brain called the raphe nuclei. This is where the substance called serotonin is released. The one that makes you feel good here and now. It inhibits the search for recurring dopamine. It is normally released when you are exercising, close to nature, or with friends. Obviously, we do not always have access to this context in everyday life. So, the next action you can practice is self-visualization. Try to visualize what you want to be and what you want to achieve. Talk to yourself. To your inner self. Determine necessary actions that bring you closer to your goals and repel the search for dopamine. Make a list of activities that the version of you that you would like to be would do. This person exists, although it is still abstract in your mind. For this to become a reality, the first step is to become aware of what activities would be routine in the life of your most successful version mentally, spiritually, and professionally. Then, practicing new habits will end up replacing serotonin with momentary dopamine in your brain.
And over time, naturally, habits such as pornography consumption, excessive alcohol consumption, fast food, for example, will no longer make sense to you. Try to consciously access this parallel universe that exists within you. I know you might be thinking this is just another motivational video. But here's a scientific explanation of the power that self-visualization has on your brain. When you become aware of the activities that are necessary to pursue your ambitions, these activities, when practiced, regulate the production of serotonin. Serotonin inhibits dopamine in the mesolimbic circuit, which is responsible for the search for immediate pleasure. The most phasic pattern of dopamine that results in a peak of pleasure at every moment. With less dopamine in this circuit, there will be more dopamine in the mesocortical circuit of your brain. The circuit responsible for your brain's willpower. A type of dopamine that is more expensive and more valuable. When combined with serotonin, you can achieve a state of flow, banishing anxiety and lack of focus. The state of flow is a mental state in which a person feels completely absorbed in an activity, without getting distracted. It is a feeling of pleasure, energy, and total focus. Therefore, have the discipline to find pleasure in activities that really make sense for your life. And remember that your purpose is much more than being professionally successful. Your purpose is to live. Let go of the results and enjoy the process. Here and now. The practice of self-visualization, when practiced, provides identity modeling. This modeling makes you feel more attracted to perform more complex tasks and seek greater challenges. And over time, this becomes more natural. This is the gateway to the flow state. The more you can enter it, the more likely you are to feel good at any time and in any place. Activities that today require greater discipline to be carried out and are hindered by the search for cheap dopamine, will be carried out in a more automated way, and you will perform them naturally and intentionally. Modeling your brain. Fear of great responsibilities can be one of the factors that unconsciously make you procrastinate. This is known as the Jonah complex, a psychological phenomenon that causes some people to avoid reaching their true potential for fear of what it might mean. Both of the responsibilities and of what the people closest to you will think of you. Here I reinforce what I said at the beginning of this video. Don't feel guilty about your ambition. It is positive and moves you towards a more satisfying life with less anxiety. Letting ambition flourish allows you to shape your life the way you always wanted. The pursuit of goals requires persistence, awareness, and, above all, consistency. In this process, you find lasting pleasure that makes each activity more automatic and enjoyable. You already have everything you need to transform your life within you. Tell yourself your goals and visualize yourself the way you always wanted to be. This way, you train your mind to seek pleasure in progress, not just in the momentary reward, whether it's watching hours of streaming or simply having social approval. Commit to your journey and, over time, discipline will stop being an effort and will become part of your identity and your life. Overcome the cheap dopamine rushes and become the best version of yourself. You are not lazy, you are just numb to futile and instant pleasures. A little discipline and awareness will boost who you truly are and elevate your mind forever. Gratitude.